They are not the only ones with guns in this city. They're not the only ones, and don't forget that.
Yet these lawmakers are insane. They're truly insane by what they're doing. And Donald Trump is not going to put up with it. Pelosi out there saying to obstruct their investigation, you can't do it. And we're going to investigate her now, as well as that DA. And Pritzker's on the list too, Jesse.
Hello, everybody. I'm Reggie Clark with the Say It Out Loud show. I am back with another video, and today we're going to talk about Pam Bondi. She's issuing warnings of arrest for Nancy Pelosi, ex-mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, and the current governor of Illinois, Governor Pritzker. These guys have been accused of obstructing justice and also threatening or targeting ICE agents with arrests. All of that's coming up next on the Say It Out Loud show, where the rubber meets the road. We'll be right back.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
It's unbelievable that Governor Pritzker and Lori Lightfoot have taken steps or gone as far as to inform illegal, undocumented immigrants of the whereabouts of the ICE agents and also disclose information that would help identify who these agents are. Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, is basically telling officers to arrest the ICE agents. And all of this is strictly forbidden, and it's against the law. So these officials are actually telling the undocumented immigrants how to evade arrest and how to continue violating U.S. laws. That's basically what they're doing. So let's take a look at this next clip, and definitely let me know what you think in the comments. Let's take a look.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is here. All right, so Lori Lightfoot, JB Pritzker, they're doxing, they're telling people the whereabouts of ICE agents. Is that legal?
No. And Jesse, first time I've seen the Lori Lightfoot video was just now on your show. She will be getting a letter from us tomorrow to preserve anything that she's done as well to make sure that she's not violating the law. It appears she is. You cannot disclose the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Pritzker, same ballgame with him. And, you know, Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents, you cannot do that. You're impeding an investigation, and we will charge them if they think they have not met me, because we will charge them if they are violating the law. We will protect our federal agents. They're out there working nonstop, as you're showing right now during a shutdown. These people are out there working to keep Californians safe, yet you've got Pelosi out there saying to obstruct their investigation, you can't do it. And we're going to investigate her now, as well as that DA. And Pritzker's on the list too, Jesse.
I'm not a lawyer, but these are warning letters. You send these out to say, preserve documents.
Yes.
You've been warned you could face legal action if this continues?
That's right. They got these letters today in California because they cannot impede a federal investigation. They cannot impede federal officers doing their jobs. They're out there risking their lives every single day and night to keep the people of California safe. Yet these lawmakers are insane. They're truly insane by what they're doing. And Donald Trump is not going to put up with it. We are going to protect our men and women in blue. We're going to protect all of our law enforcement agents, and these politicians aren't going to get away with it anymore.
So as I've said in my previous videos, ICE agents are fighting an uphill battle. They're fighting the illegal, undocumented immigrants, and they're also fighting our liberal Democratic governors, city mayors, city officials. They're fighting all of these people just simply to do their job. But it's also called obstructing.
Democrats like Illinois Governor JB Pritzker are pushing on their view to demonize ICE agents, taking his comments coming after Nancy Pelosi threatened to up the ante against ICE, saying, quote, Our state and local authorities may arrest federal agents if they break California law, and if they are convicted, the president cannot pardon them. We will not be intimidated by politically motivated fear tactics. Here to respond is Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Deputy Attorney General, thanks so much for joining the program. Let's go specifically to Nancy Pelosi. Local agents, local cops cannot arrest federal agents, right?
Of course they can. And what the Congresswoman did yesterday, what the governor of Illinois said yesterday, does nothing but harm this country. You cannot touch federal agents when they're doing their job. And that's something that they know. It's something that we reminded them of last night, because if you do, you're committing a crime. And the amazing thing about what happened is yesterday, President Trump announced and formally launched the Homeland Security Task Force. This is, in our modern history, the single largest effort by law enforcement to combat narco-terrorists and to get the scourge and the drug dealers out of this country. In just 60 days, we've arrested over 3,200 drug dealers and either gotten them out of this country or put them in jail. On that same day, you have Pelosi, you have other congresswomen, you have a congressman from New York, and you have the governor of Illinois not praising that, not thanking President Trump, but saying that federal law enforcement agents should be arrested. That's the best example of the difference between what this administration is doing and what the Democrats want done. And it's sad, and I feel bad for our federal law enforcement and their families and their wives and their husbands and their children when their mom goes to work every day putting their life on their line, and they have governors and leaders in the Democrat Party suggesting they should be arrested.
He didn't
That's
just
disgusting.
say that, Todd. He didn't just talk about them being arrested. He said that they were racially profiling. Let's watch that.
I think they ought to take the violent criminals and get them out of my state and get them out of the country. I absolutely believe that, but that's not what they're doing. They said they were going after the worst of the worst. We want the bad guys off the streets. What we don't want is for people to get racially profiled. That's what's happening right now. They're racially profiling people who are black and brown, and they're demanding their papers. Are you a U.S. citizen? Prove it. I don't think Americans should have to do that.
The people leading the force on the ground through Border Patrol right now, they're 51% Hispanic. Do you take umbrage with what he just said?
In a deep and meaningful way. Our law enforcement officers are not violating the Constitution and doing their job. And that governor, instead of talking on the news and making up stories about what he thinks is happening, should stand a post. He should go out and go out for one night and see the work that these men and women are doing. And he'll learn and he'll understand that what they are doing is getting the scourge and the people that are here illegally out of this country. And look, this has happened in California already earlier this year. These false claims that our ICE agents, that our federal law enforcement officers are somehow racial profiling or doing the wrong thing in executing and doing their jobs. And courts have said that we're right and the Democrats are wrong. We're not doing that. And that's going to continue to happen for sure.
I really don't think that these Democratic-run cities are showing hate for ICE agents. I think they're showing their hate more for President Trump. He has taken steps to do what they did not do. They have sit there for year after year after year and let the crime rate go higher and higher and higher, and they've done nothing to keep from pissing people off. President Trump has taken steps to make the cities safer. Yes, he's stepped in and done that, and people are satisfied. I will bet my left arm that there are so many Democrat people that are glad he's doing it, but they're scared to say something. Because in certain societies, if you claim to be a Republican or a conservative, you're going to be ostracized. They're going to hate you. They're going to call you a sellout just simply because you think in a different way. But I promise you, there are so many Democrat people that appreciate what Donald Trump is doing, and the next time they go in to vote, they're probably going to vote for a Republican. They may not tell you they are, but they're going to do it. Many of these residents are going to have a different approach when it comes to elected officials on their next go-around, because they do realize that these city officials that are making these rules and signing these executive orders to protect protesters and illegal aliens don't live in their community. They have no idea what's going on, or they have an idea and they don't care. So while these officials are doing everything in their power to resist Trump, let's take a look at what some of the undocumented immigrants are doing behind the scenes. Let's take a look at this clip.
We start with a Fox 35 exclusive tonight. These 5 people accused of being a part of a Colombian crime ring busted here in Central Florida. Deputies say they posed as landscapers to get into people's homes, and they allegedly tracked their prey's every move. And this drone video shows one of the heists in real time. Thanks for joining us. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Great to have you along this evening. We spoke exclusively with one of the victims tonight. Fox 35's Manny Martinez joins us live in Orlando. So, Manny, the woman says she is still scared about this.
Yeah, still spooked, John, because she says that she didn't have an idea that she was being followed. They tracked her every move, but one thing they didn't know about her was the fact that deputies were around her home watching them the entire time.
They are dressed like landscapers, but Orange County deputies say they are criminals in disguise. Deputies say this drone video shows the crooks casing a home in Orlando before breaking in to steal designer shoes and handbags, each worth thousands. These pictures showed 2 suspects walking away a half hour later with bags full of Lee Trin's valuables.
The first time when I come to my house, when I saw the window break and my door open, and I feel like my heart jumped outside.
Deputies say the undocumented group of Colombian criminals specifically targeted the homes of Asian business owners. This report claims their crime spree spans Hillsborough, Osceola, and Orange counties. Deputies followed them Monday as the gang met up in Kissimmee and then drove separate cars to Orlando's heavily Asian Mills 50 neighborhood.
I don't know how they follow me. I can't even eat and sleep. Even now, I'm still nervous.
Investigators say the gang was sophisticated. They'd surveil a home for weeks before they'd hit. Deputies say they even used this hidden trail camera to learn their target's way of life, but it seems they didn't realize they were the ones being watched this week. Deputies say they're on video crawling out of the home and hopping into getaway cars. They thought they had gotten away with it and returned to their meetup point before deputies pounced. Now all 5 suspects are jailed in Osceola County with ICE detainers, and Lee Trin has her valuables back.
That's some stuff I bought like more than 20 years ago. That's my souvenir.
So all of the protests, all of the liberal city government rebellion is to protect these guys, make it make sense. And of course, we know that all undocumented immigrants are criminals. We know that. Everybody should have common sense to know that. ICE is looking for the criminals. There are people that cross that border that are drug dealers. They have warrants on them from their country. We don't know where they are, who they are, and a lot of liberal sanctuary cities don't even care. All they're interested in is opening their arms and saying, come to us, we'll take care of you, no matter what you've done. So they're here now. They walked into open arms, and they're now protesting ICE. And some don't have to protest ICE because they have Antifa. They have people that are paid to go out there and protest for them because they're going to get arrested if they go out there. But they can find some goons to go out there and protest for them. Okay, so when you protect illegal immigrants and you make them feel that they can do whatever they want to, some take it a step further. Some are now inciting violence against ICE agents. Check this one out. And then let me know definitely what you think about this one in the comments.
Harris, the Justice Department says the illegal immigrant from Mexico is 44-year-old Carlitos Ricardo Parias. He's in custody, charged with assault on a federal officer. Agents say Parias was their target in an immigration enforcement yesterday near downtown L.A. Agents say they boxed in the suspect's car, and then he rammed his vehicle into 2 agents' cars, spun his tires, spewing smoke, and sent rubber flying into the air, hitting agents who also worried the car would dislodge and strike them. The feds say Parias refused to comply. Ultimately, an agent opened fire, hitting Parias in the elbow. A bullet ricocheted and struck a U.S. Marshal. Both are expected to be okay. Now, if you take a look at the front driver tire of the suspect's car in one of the pictures released by the feds, it appears the suspect spun his tire so rapidly the front driver tire shredded into the ground. Activists gathered at the hospital where Prius and the officer were being treated. And even after this dangerous encounter, one activist seemed to encourage armed people to resist ICE.
They are not the only ones with guns in this city. They're not the only ones, and don't forget that. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles.
Prius is a well-known TikToker, a big following, who trails agents and documents immigration enforcement here in LA. Earlier this year, the suspect was recognized by LA City Council for his videos. And Harris DHS was quick to point out that these dangerous attempts to evade arrest come after sanctuary politicians held webinars and provided resources on how to resist ICE.
This is where we've come. We've come to a point to where we have residents telling undocumented migrants to use their guns against federal agents if they are approached by them. You know who they are. You know that they're ICE agents. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. However, illegal migrants should not have guns anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button for me. Share this video. Leave me a comment and also subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.